Welcome to another exciting Godot C game development tutorial. In today's tutorial, we are going to be looking at creating the enemy scene and the enemy script, which is going to control the enemies. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and create a new scene by pressing on top here, scene, then new scene, and add a rigid body to the scene. And rename this rigid body as enemy. From there, we can go to the inspector and change the mode to kinematic, since the rigid body is going to be kinematic. After that, we can select the enemy scene, press a plus button, and add a mesh instance. We can go ahead and give this mesh instance a cube mesh. From there, we can give it a material, a special material, and go inside the material and change the special material to dark color. And from here, we can enable the emission and give it an emission color of dark red. And from here, we can go ahead and save this scene. We are going to save it inside the scene folder. Let's go ahead and add a collision shape to the enemy scene. We can press the plus button again and select collision shape. Now we're going to give this collision shape a box shape. And after this, we can go ahead and attach a script to this enemy scene. We select the enemy, and from there we press the S button on top and make sure that the language selected is C#. And we can change the directory of the script to save it inside the script folder, and then press S. Then we press create. Now this will open the code within the editor. However, if you're using Windows, it will open it in Visual Studio Code. Now later, I'm going to drag the whole folder inside Visual Studio Code and we start coding. Now I open the code inside Visual Studio Code to have auto completion. Now from here, I will just go ahead and clean up all these comments. The first thing we need is to declare a variable, which is going to be the position. And this is going to be private variable, private, then vector3. Since the translation is vector3, it have X, Y, and Z. So we say vector3 and then we name it as pose. And also we also need a variable called R, which is going to be a random variable. We're going to say private random R. Now this is going to help us to generate random value, which is going to position the enemies in random position. We also need another private variable, which is going to be float, and it's the speed of the enemies. Now that's going to be 200. And from there, we can head over to the process function, and first we are going to say pose equals to, then we get the translation of the player, since we are going to be manipulating the translation. And from there, we can say pose.z plus equals to delta times the speed. That's the enemy speed. After that, we can go ahead and now set the translation to the pose that we have. Now we can save the script and attach the enemy to the main scene as a child node. We're just going to right click on the main scene and then select the enemy and open it inside the main scene. From here, we can drag it back and play the game and see how it looks. We can go back to the enemy scene and scale the enemy a little bit. Remember, you cannot scale up a rigid body. You can only scale the mesh instance and the collision shape. And therefore, we will click on the mesh instance and then scroll down to transformation in the inspector and increase the X scale by 2 and the Y scale by 2. And from there, we also select the collision shape and bump it to 2. It's scale 2 on the X and Y axis. And from here, we can head back to the main scene and add some scenes, some enemy scenes. We can just select them and see how the enemies looks like. We can position them in different places on the floor. Now we can go ahead and test this and see how it looks. Now that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to be looking at spawning the enemies using timer. And we are also going to scale the enemies randomly, and their position also, we're going to spawn it in a random way so that the game can be really interesting. Thank you for watching once again, and see you in the next tutorial. And don't forget to like or subscribe to the channel and let me know what you want to be covered in this channel.